It is my privilege to be in this forum among all the CEOs who are not building the nation, but building Odisha in particular. I stand before you not as an agriculture scientist, not from the agriculture background. I'm standing here as an tech entrepreneurs to and return to the agri economy and spend couple of years after working in various industries. Being an engineering graduate, I have worked on the various engineering industry, trading industry, consumer industry, and markets, manufacturing and exports. Later, I came back, returned to agro industry, thinking that the future potential is on agro, and in particular, Odisha has got untapped natural resources, which will not only grow the economy, but grow the individuals. I just want to tell, every industrial revolution has come with changes. The steam power came in the Britain. The electricity changed America. Electronics changed Japan. Manufacturing changed China. Now the agriculture industry is shaping India. India at a glance, if you see, India is the second largest agri economy in the globally. India is the 8th largest agri exporter. India exports approximately $50 billion annually. India has got 150 million farmers. Out of that, 41% holds agricultural lands. India has got nearly 145 million farmlands. India has got approximately 940 agriculture institutes. India contributes 18% to the GDP. But the pathetic thing is, India loses 25% of the agri produce annually due to not having a cold storage, adulterations, and damages to the crops. With due respect to Dr. Madan Mohan Sethi, I want to highlight that for a couple of months we are involved in the Agro New Zealand and India Agro Summits. We have spent a couple of times, couple of seminars, and we have understood where New Zealand stands and where India stands. You will be surprised to know that India has got 940 agricultural institutions, and New Zealand, contrary, have only approximately 30 institutions. India exports $50 billion annually, where New Zealand exports $60 billion annually. This is kind of the benchmark New Zealand has created. And there is a lot of things we have to learn from New Zealand. In Odisha in particular, Odisha has got a 50% population contributes to agriculture. Odisha has got a 56 lakh hectare of the land and 48 lakhs farming. Odisha has got a diversified climates and various agricultures, spices, coffee, fruits, vegetables. Now we should discuss. Many people talk about Odisha that there is a little bit of resistance in the agriculture and agriculture is getting discouraged. Why? There are many possibilities and many reasons. Let me explain you all the reasons are called, we rename as theme. Why I am renaming theme? We have to create an energy. If we don't create an energy, things will go back. Theme number one, there is a changing climate and changing farmers' behavior. The flood, the famine, the depression, the no rain, and the crop loss, and the people of migration are new normal. We have to marry that this is going to happen tomorrow. So we have to think in a way it is to be done. Changing behavior of farmers, disappointment, and there is a kind of discouraging. And they are not only responsible, the responsible is our entire ecosystems. We'll give a couple of solutions. I am not going to discuss a lot of jargons, agricultural activities, what government is doing, what government is not doing. I am going to throw certain possibilities. The The second theme I want to talk about the dignity of farming. Today, the age-old peoples are doing the farming, and the class 10 dropouts are doing the farmings. The young peoples are not there. Where are the youth? The youth have left our Odisha and they have migrated to other cities in search of the green pastures. For them, the agriculture is a discouraging profession. Where are the agri students? Agri students also have left their profession. Where they have to contribute to the harvesting, they are working on the seeds selling of fertilizers, selling of the farm equipments, and selling the financial instruments. Why it is happening? The point I want to mention here, we have to rename the entire things. Example, we should not call the farmers as an cultivator. We should call each farmer as an entrepreneur. You just redesignate, there will be encourage. It means redesignate the cultivator as an entrepreneur. The person who is doing a vegetable, tell them as a vegetable industry. The person who is selling pesticides, he works in the pesticide industry. The person who is cultivating millets, please tell that there is a millet industry. So when you redesignate of a person's, his profile improves. It gives a vibes. Now, I want to talk about the digital infrastructures. This is a very interesting area. Being an engineering graduate, I have seen, I'm from the Raulkala, that same Jidgoel batch. So we have seen the technology. We have seen the other side of the pathetic stories. But there are a lot of, now 20 years before the technology was not matured. Now the technology has matured. There is a lot of possibilities where the technology can sync with the conventional way of farming and can give a lot of a boost. I want to talk about the startups and the startup-driven infrastructure innovations. I really focus on the Gen Z. You know why? They give a lot of solutions. They bring changes. Only they have to be encouraged. They have to be told, go to your locality, see the what best products you have, what is the best product in your market, what are the best harvesting going on near your river, what are the big good things in your forest area. Highlight those. Put in the YouTube, put in the Google, put in the X. Let the people come to know. So that when the people come to know, automatically they will come. They will improve that will improve your tourism, that will improve your employment, that will improve your revenue. Because we have to change the way the wind needs to blow. Then roll up, I want to talk about the role of STPI, because this is a part of digital infrastructure. What is STPI? 90% of the people in our society don't know what is STPI. STPI is the Software Technology Park of India. Only a couple of IT institutes, they know STP, Software Technology Park. But how the STP can be utilized for the agro farming, that is one question. STP government is investing a lot of money. The investors are also investing a lot of money. Let's strengthen the STPI. And each district has got a STP now. What the STPs are doing? They must be doing the great things, but it has to help the agricultures. It means that they have to be assigned and they have to be accountable, telling that this is the target you are having, please fulfill this. Only when you make accountable, then things will start rolling. Then we have the Center of Excellence. Many districts have Center of Excellences. 90% of the people in Odisha, they don't know what is the Center of Excellence. Center of Excellence can create the excellent, the ideas and the implementation methods. So the Center of Excellence has to be augmented, has to be ensure that the local people get an opportunity in the second Center of Excellence. Because why I will tell you, the insiders know more than the outsiders. The insiders know the culture of that industry. The insiders know the culture and behavior of that entire harvesting pattern. So involve the local youths, educated youths in the Center of Excellence. So why I am telling you that it's a question of debatable. Instead of banking on external and agencies and outside of people, please bank on the local youths. Bring into external Center of Excellence. They will give it tremendous results. Then we have artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, we know only AI, but we have to utilize the AI to predicting the weather pattern, the crops spoiling, then the disease outbreak, then the irrigation schedules, etc. Then we have the next theme, the infrastructure, investment, market and process. Infrastructure, we don't have a cold storage. Though that is an easy investment, it's not big. In each district, please make one cold storage, solar power driven cold storage. What it will happen? It will help the farmers to keep the crops and don't sell the crops in the harvesting time. It will yield only cheap price. Use the crop for the, wait for a few months and sell it at a high price. Therefore, the cold storage is very essential. Then you have a investments. It's a very big setback when you call an investor to Odisha to invest on the agri. Therefore, the investors are getting discouraged because there is no support from the authority. That has to improve. There has to be support from the financial institutions. If you require for an investment, takes more than 1 year. There will be, this is one of the reasons the investors are not interested. There are many industries that are coming for investment, but you won't find investment in the agro. This is one of the reasons that has to be augmented. Then there are markets. It's not difficult. Those days the markets were difficult. Nowadays the markets you can get in the anywhere. You talk to Alexa, talk to ChatGPT, where are the markets, you will get a list of the markets, a list of the possibilities. Then there is many process industries. In Odisha, if you see the process industries, you can count, but that's a huge scope. Cold storage, food processing unit, then the aromatic processing units, vegetable processing units. Instead, the future is the processing industries. The processing industries will add value. Instead of transporting the vegetables in a truck whole night, you just process in your spot. And I will suggest all farmers, and I am suggesting now also, don't sell the agro product at cheap price. Keep it. Wait for 3-4 months. Let there be a problem. When there is a problem, let the market get affected. Then you sell your product at high price. Everyone will sell the high price, only the farmers will sell at the low price. One thing remember, nothing comes free of cost, and don't sell the cheap. Why? How Odisha can become an agri growth engines. This is one important area I want to highlight. There are many trade agreements. We had a trade agreements. It is critical to take benefit of the trade agreements because we have an India and a New Zealand trade agreements, India and a European Union trade agreement, India and a UK trade agreement, India and a Greece has got a trade agreements, India and a Italy has got a trade agreements. Trade agreement will facilitate the transportation of the goods from one country to another country at a certain price. Please take benefit of the trade agreements. The trade agreement concept has to be converted and translated into the lowest level of the farmers. That see, there are trade agreements. Please take benefits. And I want to emphasize about the think tanks. Wherever you see the think tanks, they are the institutions, academicians, institutions, industry, and the executives. They just come in a session where I am also panel member to many industry, where the academicians, industry and executives will sit, they discuss in the forum. That is, they make a policy. That policy won't be understandable. The farmers don't understand the policy. Even the policy maker don't understand the farmers' language. So when you don't understand the language of the farmers and farmers don't understand the language of the policy maker, the situation will fail. So I have suggested to the various governments, in between the policy maker and farmers, create one more layer as a consultant who has to be accountable to ensure the policies are implemented in the farming level. So, as the time is very short, I want to conclude my speech saying that Punjab showed us the way, the harvesting of the food. The Maharashtra showed how the agriculture to be done. Karnataka shows the way how the technology can transform the agricultures. It is the time for Odisha to utilize all the experience from other country and see that how the agriculture industry can grow in Odisha.
Sure.
The next generation revolution will not be for the increase of the food. It will be increase of the value addition. The next generation will not talk about more on subsidy. It will talk about the investments. The next generation will not talk about the priority. They will talk about the future and value additions. So the new Odisha needs to one thing more, and we have to have a courage to think differently. Thank you so much.